Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the afternoon session. Vicky LB, what's up? So I took a entry just before lunch based off of this same bullish breaker that didn't hold earlier. So it got confirmed here at 10:15. The price traded right through it following that. So the setup that we looked at this morning, the one that failed, I left the breaker there, knowing that if price just traded into this leg right here, what I like to call the manipulation leg, that the price stayed in this range and then turned around and reconfirmed the breaker by trading higher, that I would use that as an entry to take the same entry that I was looking at earlier. A lot of times what I like to do is when it trades back up and we get to consequent encroachment, once we trade above it, I like to take the entry there. It gives me, especially if I'm really expecting price to move higher, it gives me an early entry. In this case, it was an entry at 556 as opposed to waiting for the confirmation and getting in at 565. So give me about 10 handle head start on achieving my objective there. I was in with 3 contracts. The first one at 40 handles, the second one at 50, and we have one remaining, which I was trying to get out at 662. Looks like we made it all the way up to 660.75. So it's about 1.5 points away from TPing out on this final contract. So we'll see if we get there. Otherwise, it may trade back lower and stop me out with a gain of 1,100 on the last contract. But we'll see. Oh, I say, oh, sweet queen. I'm glad you got in on that. Yeah, I never took it off my screen earlier. And so when we trade back into it, I was ready. And we got the close above the open range high. Let's remove that. We can also take out this level 601. And 601 was just based on these equal highs as far as seeing this at a 5-minute market maker buy model. So the first level was achieved here at 556, traded above. Honestly, this morning when I looked at this 1 minute as a bullish breaker setup, I should have, based on my knowledge of market maker models, I should have expected a deeper retracement here. So there shouldn't have been an entry there. Should have been more patient and waited for it to now trade back higher, and this would have been the first entry there. But you know, it happens. But this was the second level, the 601. I could be wrong there. This actually might be the second level when it crossed 642. But I saw Terminus being up in this bearish breaker from this morning, somewhere around the 660 range. So I'm looking to TP out here and then see price crash back. It didn't quite get to consequent encroachment, which is what my TP would have been. And maybe I was a little aggressive there. Should have gotten out a couple points before consequent encroachment, right after. So we'll see if it comes back to bite me, and if it does, that means I'll TP out 1100 on this last contract, but I could have gotten at least $2 grand, and I would have missed out on a couple handles. So it would have been, instead of 2080, it might have been 2040 or 2020. So you live and you learn. I'll do better next time. But let's see if we can get a push back up there. $102 handles. All right, Wiki, good job. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here, is get 100 handles there. Getting in at 558. I tried to get out at 662. It made it up to 660. So I did actually get 100 handles. I was just greedy and wanted 104. It's all good though. Let me just protect some of my winnings there. Hopefully price can push higher. If not, it's fine. I'll take an exit here. But I won't be looking for price to deliver much more today. I won't continue to push for an expansion, based on this setup. After what we get delivered here, that's going to be it. It's Friday afternoon. We had a nice week of one direction expansion as well. So I'm actually expecting price to slow down and just kind of stay in a range until the closing, and next week look for something different. So confirm. Okay, got it. You originally got it at 460. Oh, jeez. Holy cow, Queen. Amazing entry. Ooh-wee. Wow. Yeah, you definitely got in early. 1420. It comes down. Just take that as our TP. Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right about that, Queen. That 1 minute breaker, when it held, it was actually when it traded back above constant encroachment, I was all over it then. I figured that was a good place to at least take one contract. And then when it traded above the actual breaker itself, I took a second contract. Then it retraced back in, and that's how I ended up with 3 different ones. But the first one came just before constant encroachment. So now it drops below this swing low here. Being out. I see it trying to make higher highs, but it's not in a hurry to do so. That looks nicer. See if we can take this swing high over here. Great. Good to see that swing high taken. Let's go back up to 5 minute. 3 more minutes here on the 5-minute candle. Let's put our stop loss at 1500 if we can. I don't think we can. There we go. So we'll take 1500 for this trade. Now, as it breaks lower, we'll see if we want to re-enter or not. The close up. So here are my 3 entries. The first one was on this candle right when it touched consequent encroachment. The second one was on this candle when it touched the high of the breaker. And then the retracement back down, I took another entry at 554. So right around consequent encroachment. When it retraced back down, I took a third entry, and those were the 3. As I mentioned, the first one was taken at about 40 handles. The next one was taken at 50, so consecutive 5-minute candles here. And the third one held out. Didn't quite TP out up top. And through the chop, I just exited at 633. Biblical one trade, 3 entries. So 3 contracts, but just the same. It was the same trade. Or the same trade idea. It's essentially this breaker block, the same one we looked at. I don't know if you were on this morning, but when this 1-minute breaker was confirmed and it traded back down, the first thing it did, it traded in and traded back higher and delivered about 25 handles. But if you didn't take profit there, it came all the way back down and invalidated the breaker. However, it stayed inside of the manipulation area, which is this last leg down. So it stayed inside, kind of found support around the midway point, and it started buying back up just before lunch. So when I saw it come up and tap this consequent encroachment of the breaker, and I figured we were going back to reconfirm it and carry on bullish. And so that's when I took 1 entry here, 1 entry on this one, and then this pullback back inside, I took a 3rd entry. So those are the 3. Oh, you had 3 trades. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. Hopefully everything worked out for you. So you would like to see 621. Oh, so you want to see a sweep of these lows. Trading back into this wick prior to moving higher. This candle here, the highest one, it only got to a high of 660.75. I was looking for it to push up into the bearish breaker into consequent encroachment at 662. It was about a handle away, but actually could be poised to do so now. We're starting to find, looks like potentially support of candle bodies on top of the midnight open. One loser, two winners. Okay, well, that's still 66%, so nice, not bad. All right, so we have S&P and the Dow with new highs of the day during the last hour. So that lunch hour produced the high of the day for them. However, on Nasdaq, of course, we didn't quite get there. We ran into a bearish fair value gap and could not close above. The bearish fair value gap I'm talking about is this 1 hour right here, starting at 651 up to it looks like about 657. We are getting lower prices on the dollar, which is what I wanted to see. I'm glad that we have that. That was another reason why I felt comfortable taking a long when things picked up right before lunch, was because I could see the dollar losing its level and pushing lower. $3.45.25. Oh, excellent. Great rebound. Glad you're able to overcome that loss pretty quickly. Looks like we're pushing lower based on the string line here. Broke it, trade back into it, and now maybe sweep lower. You saying why do I think? I said, what is NQ looking like the sixth sister and will reach for the London high? Let's see. I mean, I think it could also reach for the London high. It's just going to trail behind, so it's just going to take a little bit. It'll probably do some sort of retracement first. I'm still following the dollar. As long as the dollar keeps pushing lower, I don't see why NQ wouldn't eventually reach for that London high. But I did want to just make sure that I left the bearish breaker that sent price lower this morning at 340. I wanted to make sure that when price returned there, I was aware of where it was and the fact that it pushed price lower earlier in the day. Right? So it pushed price out of the breaker and it pushed lower. But as you can tell, it still hasn't taken out lows. It still hasn't broken market structure and started to look like it was wanting to be bearish. It's just not in a hurry to sweep those highs. So what we could end up getting is a sweep of the highs in the next hour during 2 o'clock. And then we use power hour to do some sort of retracement, allow the big banks and all of them to exit out of their positions. And then we just kind of coast into the end. So I still think that level is there to be taken as liquidity point. But following that, I don't see price just running away. I think that will get price to start coiling in on itself, and it'll be the end of the trading day. All right, because the Dow still hasn't made it to consequent encroachment. Look at the hourly fair value gap that the Dow is sitting in. It's currently not quite at the 50% mark. So I think it's going to want to reach for that. And so we'll get all the indices probably to push a little bit higher at that point. Dow will reach that consequent encroachment point at the same time the Nasdaq will likely hit that London high. If I had a crystal ball, that's how I would do it. Right. But with that being said, I mean, we are looking at a level around 680. We are around 650. So we're talking about at best, you're looking at 30 handles. So probably not worth the entry at all. Right. It's just going to be one of those situations where everyone gets stopped out. And yeah, it's probably not worth it if you're not already in. You get a break below this level, 613, then we could be seeing price run the other way. starting in just a couple seconds here. All right, we spent the entire 1 o'clock hour, or at least for 50 minutes, doing not much of anything. So let's go ahead and put in lunch high. So much low. Right. It's the first minute of the macro to run these lows, equal lows here. Yep, Queen, I'm right behind you. When this macro's over, that concludes my trading week as well. You take care. Hope you have a good weekend. And we'll talk to you Monday. Dollar still putting in its lowest value of the day, continue to push lower. So that's nice reassurance that maybe we're just seeing a retracement here and not necessarily a reversal of price for the remainder of the day. So both the Dow and S&P, since they made new highs of the day during the last hour, they're now pushing lower. Well, yeah, during the last hour, they're now pushing lower back. Looks like they're tapping into the order block here. So we'll see if the order block is able to send price higher. Yep. Miss Healthy, what's up? Okay, a little bit lower. Price pushing lower. Mm. All right, looks like we might push down to at least around 600 or so, maybe even as low as 590. Then we'll see if price wants to flip around, do something different. Okay. Oh, back down to the breaker then. Fair value gap right here. Here is the inverse if you're looking for one. Hey, we're back. Not sure exactly what happened, but it said OBS crashed, but we're back. 1245 low. Yep. Swept that low, closed below it. Now we're trading all the way back up. I want to see if it would leave a fair value gap there for the unicorn setup. If this bearish breaker is going to hold. Looks like there would not be a unicorn setup, but we do have a inverse if we want to break down from here. But the dollar is still pushing lower, so I wouldn't hold my breath. So it's going lower. I would think that we're going to push higher. We're going to take that London high. Let me get rid of this. We just made a 1 hour bullish fair value gap below. Oh, I see what you're saying. Price might want to tap into this newly created fair value gap here. I see. Oh, you know what? I can get rid of this one since the 1 hour is basically the same. Got my session highs today. Normally I always put the session high in the morning. It's about 50 handles up from where we are right now. It's the London high. The lunch high is about 35 handles. Hey, what's up, Ray? Good afternoon. Yeah, ES and the Dow both swept London already. Yeah, Ray, the only reason why I'm thinking that Nasdaq still wants that London high is because the dollar is still pushing lower. We can even as of a couple minutes ago, it was at its lowest of the day, continuing to push lower. But it could be that we just end up getting sideways movement for the rest of the day, or we break down and we get down into some of the balancing areas, and then price just kind of settles for the day. I am aware of this Friday afternoon, and we're at the end of the week where we've had a lot of movement this week. Very bullish. If we finish bullish today, it'll be the 7th consecutive day of bullish candles. Yep. Yeah, I originally had this long here, accidental constant encroachment, and it got 1.5 points away from it and turned back around. So my trade ended on I moved my stop loss up to 633, and so it stopped me out during this sideways movement here. But yeah, we only got about 2 hours remaining today. Take this out of the way. Figure I'd wait until the macro was over and call it a week and start my weekend. Yeah, it looks like the silver bullet already delivered to the downside. I think. Let me see if this is a fair value gap. Almost. Yeah. One tick. Fair value gap the size of one tick, and then you trade into it the next candle. We drop down. Oh, geez. Yep. Right here. Here's your silver bullet entry right here. 202. 619 entry. I've already made it down to 601, so there's 18 handles already. And almost constant encroachment here. There we go. Touch right at constant encroachment here, right at the end of the macro. So yes, definitely has delivered from 619 of the silver bullet entry down to 594. So 25 handles right there. I think silver bullet's supposed to deliver 10, and you're supposed to have a range of 20. So it's already delivered 25. All right, everyone. I open floor now for any final questions or comments before we close out for the week. Okay. Thanks, Queen. I appreciate you. Do appreciate it. All right. Anyone else? Anything? All right. Let's see what type of retracement we've gotten. Let's just go ahead and measure that up again. All right. Right at 38%. Candle body sitting right on 38.2. And that's coming from the low of 1120. Yep. Let's look at the lunch range. Just lunch low to lunch high. Let me measure that as well. All right, 62.8 looks like 70.8 now. So 71% retracement thus far. Could continue down 78, 83, 88. Have those marked up as well. If it makes it down to the order block, you'll be at 83.5%. Yeah, this was one of the reasons why I slid my stop loss up. It's because I didn't want to lose my profit and ride this all the way down. So getting out at 633 helped me save about $800 on a trade. I was trying to get $2,000, end up with 1,500. But if I had let it come all the way down here, we'd be at a profit of around 600 to 700. So this is what I was trying to avoid. Yep. 560. 560. Yeah, that's what Queen said earlier. She was saying 561 or something like that. And I said, oh, we're talking about going all the way back down to the bullish breaker then. So that's about where we all started at 11:30ish. So anywho, that will do it for this week. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks everyone for being here and adding to the room. Hope we keep it alive here, and also, sharing your insights on the charts with us. With that being said, hopefully you guys all have a good rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you're able to backtest. If not, at least able to recharge batteries a bit. And we'll be back on Monday morning at 9:15 to do it all over again. Let's see. 2 minutes. All right. All right, everyone. Take care. I'll see you next week. Till then.